Now, let me call Dr. Kendeya Gabrehewat, President of Mekelle University, for his opening speech. Please welcome him.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Waziri Damitu Hamdessa, Ministry of Women and Children Affairs, Her Excellency Waziri Mahabba Adam, State Minister, Minister of Justice, Honorable Members of the Parliament, Ambassadors, Honorable Delegates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of myself and the University, I would like to welcome you all to this International Conference on Women in Science, Innovation and Development, and to our young university and to the city of Mekelle. I would like to acknowledge you all for accepting our invitation amidst of your busiest schedules. Your presence shows how we have valued the importance of women in science. As we speak, our university is celebrating its 25th years anniversary, and we are very glad to have Professor Mutuku, the founding president, here. And we deliberately decided to organize this timely and very important conference that addresses two of our two core values.
On July 20, 2015, the heads of state and government and high representatives gathered in Addis Ababa and recognized and affirmed the contribution of advancement in science, technology, and innovation for the enhancement of a potential to achieve the universal development goals. As any development will not be achieved in the absence of women's participation and contribution, mainstreaming gender in science, technology, and innovation systems should be an integral part of development. As we all know, women and girls in Ethiopia, like their sisters in other parts of the world, they're strongly in a disadvantageous position as compared to boys and men. They benefit less from social services and hold low positions in all economic, political, and social affairs. To fill the gap, the government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia has developed a policy to shift focus towards natural science and engineering related education program. The shifts of emphasis towards engineering is symbolized by the government decision to allocate 70% of new students in natural science and technology related fields. At this junction, I would like to extend my appreciation and I want to congratulate the leaders and the staffs of the Mekelle University for their leadership and organization of this international conference on women in science and innovation for development.
In Ethiopia, unlike the situation in the past, there are many legal instruments today that recognize the rights of women to social, economic and political rights. The Constitution of 1995 has an Article 35 that is totally devoted to the various rights of women, including entitlement of affirmative action to address their historical marginalization.
This international conference would be a brainchild of Professor Frethen to be sustainably undertaken as one of the hallmarks of Mekelle University. With that brief introduction, I would like to invite Professor Frethen.
We have in Ethiopia 88% of post-harvest is managed by women. 42% is involved in seed dissemination. And I have to consider them, especially in Tigray because of the war, we have many female-headed households, up to 35%. You see, this is a variety recommended for North Ethiopia. It always failed. No grain reaching stage. And this is a farmer variety. And this is already endangered variety. I found it in the farming system. So how can a farmer accept this one when they have best one here? So this was a question that I did. And I did also consider breeding for quality. We had PhD student Dr. Addis, he's right now here. We are the first in Ethiopia to release variety with high beta-glucan, iron, zinc, and fatty acid. and we give access to farmers. It's a very single cross, an amazing country. We have a hidden diversity here. With a single cross of two varieties, our varieties, we found an amazing diversity. And out of them, we have these selection processes involving men and women. We have addressed your concern, at least one zero. Men farmers and women farmers are also involved. This is a progeny. In genetics, we call it, if a variety is taking up the best character of both parents, we call it transgressive segregation. In your household, you have a child that doesn't resemble either the mother or the father, and both husband and wife quarrel. It belongs to my father. No, it belongs to my uncle. If he is good enough, especially, or she is good enough. So we fight, isn't it? It's like that in crops also. So we selected this variety. We were evaluated by National National Varietal Release Committee. Women have access to disseminate large scale like now. And this is an amazing story, a reality. This variety is, we call it the Hessian type, which means it withdraws its own.
Last year, President Barack Obama visited, no, 2 years ago, President Barack Obama visited Kenya. Things in the US have since shifted, but I will not make a political statement. But when President Obama was in Kenya, he told a very powerful story. And he reminded us, when you're playing a life or death football match, you know that match you must win to win the championship, the last match. That is not the time that you go and you play 5 players and you leave your other 6 on the bench, or you play 6 players and you leave 5 on the bench on the side, and the other team brings their full 11. When you look at the African continent and the challenges we're facing in terms of feeding ourselves, we are in that life or death football match. Penalty shootout. This is not the time as a continent for us to say no. We will only use the talents of our male scientists. It is a crime that we as a continent have continued to allow ourselves to have a research system that is benefiting from only 17% of women sitting there to make decisions. This is not about women seeking favors. This is about systems that are effective, systems that make use of the best talent in the room. And I really agreed with what my chair said. It's not about support, it's about opportunity. And this opportunity, when you look at it from the perspective of what we as a continent need, what Ethiopia as a country needs, Ethiopia needs to benefit from all the talent that is born in this country every day. And that means the women as well. That means the women scientists as well. And so, not to belabor the point too much, but I really don't think God said, let there be inequality. This inequality, we did it. It is not God ordained, it is not natural, it is not God's purpose and God's vision for us to remain poor because we continue working with half a team. We have created the inequality. We, in this generation, have the opportunity to fix those inequalities. And I really believe a conference such as this one is exactly the kinds of things we need to be doing.
Our next speaker, which is my dear good friend, Dr. Ann Waters-Beyer, please.
If formal scientists are to contribute to development in this way, the greatest opportunity to bring this about lies in education, such as here at Mekelle University. Here, you can nurture young people to develop the attitude and the behavior and the skills that are needed to engage with the science of male and female citizens. Now, one way to develop the needed attitude and behavior is to encourage students and teachers to identify local innovations, such as we did with ISWRI, and to explore together with farmers the questions that the farmers are interested in exploring in farmer-led joint research. This opens the eyes of both students and teachers to farmers' knowledge and capacities, but also increases the farmers' pride in their own achievement and their confidence to interact with outsiders. Working in the midst of rural reality, students learn about the context specificity of innovation in farming and the complexity of the technical, socioeconomic, and cultural aspects involved. I see for higher education, for Mekelle University and other institutes of higher education, two major areas in which people should be active. First of all, in creating learning opportunities for current and future scientists to gain experience and skills in engaging in gender-responsive transdisciplinary research. Now, some of the skills they need to develop, if they don't have them already, are skills in facilitating communication across disciplines and actors from formal science and society. For example, managing different expectations, guiding and understanding each other's concepts, ensuring equality among all of the participants, whatever their sex or their social status or their level of formal education. Openness to the knowledge and ideas of others, to learning in action, and to the uncertainty of transdisciplinary research.
Drought frequency is increasing. It was about 7 to 8 years before. Now there is intensification of drought events every 2 to 3 years. And this is related, we took this sample from Gondar, but it's showing the whole spatial correlation of the Sahel belt. It's not only just local. Tells us the change regionally across Africa. And it's related with the El Nino drought years, with La Nina wet years. And this data is very important to manage water resources. We are reconstructing Blue Nile River flow. We just have engaged data of about 30, 40 years. It's not enough to manage our water resources. We are building dams, but we need to know how is this climate variability going to affect our water. This is from Burkina Faso, West Africa. You see the huge gap in between is a long Sahel drought period. But if you have climate data of only 30, 40 years, you would assume that the Sahel is getting wet or green. But that's not true. When you look back in time, there were also moist years. So it's only periodic wet and drought period. So the difference from West Africa and East Africa is that in East Africa, the interannual variation is very high, 2 to 3 years. But in West Africa, it's periodic, long moist period and long drought period. So this is very important information for policymakers to make evidence-based decisions. This is 2 co-occurring species using the oxygen isotope. I can take one of the Sclerocarya dinomarula. This is where we use it for marula. It's using soil water. The other one is using deep water sources. The other one is, you see a trend. I'm sorry, I cannot, this is not working. So there is a trend because of climate is changing, temperature is increasing, and different species are reacting differently. That's why I said we need to know about our species, our trees. It's not just simply planting. So which one do we plant if the climate is going to get dry or if temperature is going to increase? I would plant Anagenys leucarpus, which is really not suffering so far. So these are the kind of information we do. Also, it tells us about the drought events over there.
I met Gracia Machel at a RUFORUM conference a few years ago, and she gave a nice story. How do you feel that the small woman farmer that you left on the farm is still there 20 years after bending over, be accountable? Her Excellency Amina Guru Fakim, Professor Abe will tell you, she was amongst us when we selected the top 5 winners. She was awarded a prize as a role model scientist. She was an academician, almost vice chancellor, moved from academia to business, and now Her Excellency Amina Guru Fakim, she's the president of Mauritius. Has she stopped? No. When I read about her, 100 PhD scholarships, she's using the power of her office to bring other scientists on board. And I like to say she's also my friend. So if I send a little text, ask Fatian, Dr. Abe, you would see, use the power of your office. And then I had to say, Professor Fatian Abe, Dr. Fatian Abe, Fatian Abe, Fatian. You know, when she invited me, she said, Judith, I want you to come. All right? I have seen her empower her younger colleagues. When she could not attend a seminar, she would say, Judith, can I send my lecturer so-so-so to that workshop on seed systems? And when they wrote the chapter for the book that we edited and published, it was not only her name on the chapter. So, be a role model. And all these women are role models. All of you are role models. All of you can be better role models.